Hello, this is Uday. In this video, we are going to learn about the case expressions in SQL Server. So this is one of the most important concept in SQL Server. Case expressions are like most commonly used among the SQL scripts and other SQL queries. So let's try to understand what exactly these case expressions are. So basically, the case expression, it is used to implement the logic where you want to set the values of one column depending upon the values in the other columns. So basically it consists of at least one pair of when and then expressions. The when expression specifies the condition that is to be tested, and the then expression specifies the action if the when condition is true. The else expression is optional in the case expressions, and it executes when none of the when conditions are returned true, and the case expression ends with an end keyword. So this is the main definition of case expressions. Let's try to understand the syntax and the examples of how this case expressions looks like. So there are basically two forms of case expressions, simple and search case expression forms. So simple case expression form allows us to compare one value of a scalar expression with a list of possible values and return a value for the first match. If there is no value in the list that is equal to the tested value, then the case expression returns the value that is appears in the else clause. So this is the syntax of simple case expression, wherein we see there is a case keyword and then the input expression field that we want to provide, then the when expressions. So when expression contains basically the conditions or the list of values that needs to be matched up with this input expression. And if this when expression is true, the first true when expression retrieves the value available in the then result expressions. And if none of the when expression is true, the sequence moves on to the else result set expression. And with this end, the case expression ends. So this is basically the example of how the simple case expression looks. We are just trying to pull the employee name, department ID, and the department name, wherein I am giving the input parameter or input expression as the department ID, and I am trying to match that department ID with each of these values. So wherever my first when expression gets true, the then expression or the then result set will be pulled out as a department name. So coming to the searched expression, so the search case form is more flexible because it allows you to specify predicates or a logical expression. Here we can see the Boolean expression that is being provided in the when expression. The first true when expression, it retrieves the data from the then result set expression, and it goes same as the simple case expression. So if none of the when expressions are true, the case expression will pull out the result from the else expression. If there is no else clause provided, the expression returns a null value. So this is the basic example of how the searched case expression looks like. So we are again retrieving the same set of columns, employee name and a manager. And here what we are trying to search is like if my salary is greater than 1000, then it gives us a text of saying about 1000. And in all the else condition, I'm just providing it as a below 1000. So that is where I'm just categorizing the salaries. So let's try to explore this more using the SQL queries. So I have this table employee and table department out here, where my employee table contains employee name, manager, salary, department ID and all. So let's first try to explore the simple case form, where I'll try searching select employee name, and I'll try to retrieve the salary and then the department ID. In the case expression, I just wanted to provide department ID as the input impression, and let's say if my department ID is 1, then give the name as accounting. If it is 2, then give the name as services. If it is 3, then give the name as, let's say, marketing. And if it is 4, then let's say sales. And if none of the expression is true, I'll also try to give no department ID. Let's try to give an end to this case expression, and I'll try to give the column name to this case expression. and this entire data needs to be retrieved from the employee table. Let's try to execute this. So here what we can see here is like, so wherever I have got department IDs, it is trying to give the names of those departments, okay, for each and every row. So what we can see is a simple case expression can be converted into a search case form, but the reverse is not necessarily true. So let's try to retrieve the same using search case form. Let's just select, I am trying to retrieve the same columns, salary and then department ID. Here what I just wanted to search is case when department ID is equals 1, then it gives the name as accounting. When here in this search form I need to provide a boolean expression of for each and every when clause. After, if department ID is 2, then give the name as services. If department ID has 3, then give the name as marketing. If department ID is 4, then give the name as sales. And let's try to give the same else condition. With this, we will be getting the same result set. So here we can use the simple case form. Instead of providing department ID and the boolean expression for each and every when clause, we can just give a parameter or input expression out here, and we can try pulling out the result using the input values. So now the main difference here is like when there are multiple case statements. So now let's try to explore more about the search case form. Here, like when here I'm just trying to retrieve the department ID. Let's try using the salary, like select employee name, comma salary, and if my case when salary is greater than 1000, then let's say above 1000, my salary is above 1000, and in all the else clauses it just gives below 1000, and let's say salary category from table employee. Let's try to execute this. Here I can see my salary is 800 and it says below 1000, my salary is 1600 and it says above 1000, exactly like this. Now coming to the next example, if I want to add one more condition saying that I also want to retrieve the data where my salary is it is above 1000, I mean it is between 1000 and let's say 2500, then I want to say it as between 1000 and 2500. Now using this when expression, I can say there is no change in the result set, because as we already said, the case expression always retrieves the result set from the first true when expression. When in the sequence of the execution, my first when expression gets satisfied, like where all my salaries are above 1000, and then it just goes and gives me this result. It doesn't even go and checks the next when expression. So in order to include this when in my case expression, what I can just give is I can just get this when expression at the top and then say let's try to search first the salary between 1000 and 2500, and if it is not, and then search for the salary that is above 1000. So in this case what happens is, so wherever the salary is between 1000 and 2500, it gives the result as between 1000 and 2500, and for all the other scenarios, like we can see here is the salary is more than 2500, and it just gives the value of the next when expression. So this is basically the sequence of how the when expression executes inside a case expression. Now let's try to explore more. Let's say I want to get this list, and if my salary is greater than 1000, then I want to provide a nested case. It is possible to use a nested case expression inside a case. So here, so whenever my salary is more than 1000, I am going and trying to create one more case expression after the then clause, then case the above 1000. when I'll just try to give the same expression out here. When my salary is between 1000 and 2500, it gives the result as between 2000 and 2500. If my salary is greater than, let's say, 2500, and it just gives the result set as above 2500. Let's give the else. My else expression is below 1000, and this expression out here. After this, I'll try to end the outer case expression. Here I would just give one more else condition for my outer expression. Here I'll give the same value and then try to give the end salary category from employee table. Let's try to execute this. It gives me the exactly same result wherever my salary is above 2500, and it gives me the result of, like, wherever my salary is above 2500, it gives the result as above 2500. So this is one of the form like where we can use the nested case expression inside a case. So I hope this video is more helpful to you. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.